Welcome to the Elite Life with Trisha and Kylie. This is where we'll teach you how to develop grit, give yourself grace, and succeed in real estate. So let's dive in.
Hey friends, today we have a special treat for you. You're so glad you're here. We have a very special fellow in mine and Trisha's lives who has been such a huge part of our business, huge part of our business. And today we are so excited to introduce our friend, Luke. Yay! Say hi, Luke. Say hi.
Hi, how you guys doing?
We're good. We're so glad you're here. So Luke went to the Michigan Real Estate Convention, which was put on by the University of Michigan Real Estate, and it's an amazing, networking opportunity. You found it. How did you come about that?
I think just one of my professors told me about it last year. I started the real estate minor then, and like apparently it's just like an annual thing. So I just looked up on the club's website, like the Michigan Real Estate Club. That's who hosted it.
Beautiful.
So checked out their website, find the details for it.
I love it.
Yeah, and a little background for our listeners. So I met Luke in an entrepreneurial class at U of M. And for that class, we had to make a business and launch a business. And so me and Luke he actually reached out to me. He was like, hey, I want to start a business with you.
I want to be in your group.
Yeah. So I was like really excited. And we were like, what is this business going to be? And he's like, well, you own a real estate company and I want to be in real estate. So we co-founded Stars Academy together. And that's where this all birthed from, the Stars Academy real estate training platform, me and you, Kylie, doing the Elite Life podcast. So we all owe where we are today to Luke reaching out and being brave.
Yay!
I don't know if I deserve all the credit.
And he's modest too, ladies.
I know. Well, everything starts with one step, and you took that first step. So we are thankful to you, Luke. And it's been a fantastic shoot. We're coming up on 2 years this March. So time flies when you're having fun. And Luke is very much our boots on the ground at U of M. So he will be helping us continue to grow this with, our future generations. So very, very exciting. And I'm excited that you found this real estate convention. We will definitely be going there next year. So tell us about the experience. Tell us all about it from start to finish, from walking through the door to networking. We're excited.
Yeah, I was there the whole time and it just had everything. They had like two like time slots just for networking. Like one was like a career fair and then one's just like general networking, talking to people. And that was great, helping people to find jobs and just, make friends as well. And then like they had four actually, like speaker events. So you get to like meet people, get some jobs, and learn while you're there.
Awesome. So backing up to the speakers, what topics did they cover?
The first one was about affordability with housing during a recession and like what we kind of should expect going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had like the Peter Allen, who's a retired professor. Like the last semester was the last time he taught for over 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And then he decided to come back to give a little 30-minute summary of his class to everybody there.
Nice.
And then like one event was about like a new asset class coming up called build to rents. And that's pretty new. So we had some people that are getting started in that talk about it.
What were like some key takeaways from each of the speakers that you got, like some nuggets where you were like, oh, awesome, like some good tips that you could share with some of our listeners?
I guess with the affordability, like that is not like unique to the US. That's like everywhere in the world. And it's strange because like the housing is still undersupplied, but like why aren't people filling the supply? It's kind of like a mystery. And build to rents, like that kind of addresses that. People want that experience of like living in a house like, like a standard like American dream, typical single family house, but they can't afford to own it. So this kind of solves that problem by like having it built out how they like, and then people rent it.
Oh, that's super interesting. So they have a program going on right now where, as a renter, you can come in and give your specs, and a builder will build it for you to rent exactly what you want.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing. And is that just happening in Ann Arbor or Michigan or other places? Where are they doing that at?
they're doing it all over. I know, like I talked to a company doing it in Georgia.
Okay. What was the company that they had in Michigan representing it? Do you remember?
They had landmark property. So they do student housing and they also do that build to rent. Those are like the two main asset classes they do. I don't know if they do the build to rents in Michigan, but they do the build to rents in Georgia,
That's
where their
a really
headquarters is.
that's a really interesting venture.
Yeah.
For sure, because I would love to. We need to put that on the list. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, definitely landmark. And I see landmark signs all over Michigan. So I
Right.
wonder if it's something that they would be willing to undertake in Michigan if they had realtors that
They
were
might
willing
need some
to
help. They
Yeah.
might need some help.
Hmm.
Very cool. Were you able to make some connections? Like, who did you meet? Did you meet like were other vendors there? Luke was so awesome. It was kind of a last minute thing. He found this event and was able to take some stars brochures and go and network. So were there other vendors there like walking around?
Oh yeah, there's like maybe 15 to 20 just different companies, mainly for like real estate investment or development. So I got like a mountain of business cards from them.
You did. Did you see all those? Let's see those again. He's got a
Yeah, like
fistful.
these are the ones I'll talk. I didn't talk to all of them, but yeah, big one. Like the biggest one there is probably Related. So they do like affordable housing development. But I did meet someone that was good for stars. I got a business card from them too. Let me see if I can find it. But they are a real estate agent out in California.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is his card. So
Nice.
I gave him a stars brochure, and I met like two or three other people that want to be agents and gave them some brochures too. I brought like 20, so I guess I like oversupplied myself on that.
Hey, I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
Yeah, and speaking of, so Luke, you are a great example. Some of our listeners, they're going to go to stuff like this, right? We have a lot of realtors that listen. They're going to go to conventions. They're going to be like you. They're going to pick up the cards. Then they're going to come home, right? And what are they going to do with those bags? Because I remember when I was young and I was first starting out in the business, and I would go to these conventions and I'd get all the things, and I would come home with a bag, and I would never do anything with that bag ever again. So what are
swag
you
bag?
going to do with your handful of cards? Are you going to reach out? Like, do you have a follow-up process that you're going to go through now that you finish your networking?
Yeah, so if I don't know that much about the company and that was like the first time I saw them, then I'll like look on their website on the card. And then like if I'm look this was like specific for a job. So if I was looking for a job at that place, then I would just apply. And then I'd reach out to the person that gave me their card, email them to say, hey, I applied to this position. I'm looking forward to it if I get an interview. And also like here's my resume and other projects for you to look at as well.
Super
And that's
smart.
basically my process and just hear where it goes from there.
Perfect. So the name of the game, friends, is follow up. So if you are like Luke, you're coming out of college, you're going into looking for a job in the real estate industry, whether it be residential or you're going into a lot of like development spaces, right? And commercial and things of that nature. When you go to one of these conventions, don't just get the cards and throw the bag, in your office or in your desk or in the trash and keep the swag. You have to, like Luke's doing, get on the website, go through and apply to the job. And then I love that extra step that you're doing, which is going back to the person you talked to at the convention, tapping them and saying, hey, I put my resume in. Here is also another copy. Here are some of the projects that I worked in. Here is why I'm going to be a great person to work with. All the money is in the follow-up, friends, whether it be for getting a job or working your leads or whatever. Follow-up's the name of the game, right?
And I like what you said about how you'll check out their website, because a lot of people they'll just call or they'll just go in blind. Like when I'm meeting a broker to talk about stars, I always go on their website, do a Google search, check them out in the MLS, see how many agents they have, see how many deals they've done, so I can have a better idea and basically have the upper hand when going into a situation. Because it's easier to show up, and because I've had brokers ask me like, did you check out our website? Did you do any homework? And I'm like, hell yeah, I did. I think you guys are amazing. You've got 14 agents. You guys close 25, 30 deals a month. Like, and then I'm able to better understand where their needs might be, so I can point out the opportunities that stars can give them to hit those pain points.
I like that. And I would also go so far as to checking out their Facebook and their socials.
Oh, yeah.
So you get some clues into what their culture is like, right? Because I think nowadays, like, that's really, really important, is to find a culture that fits for you, especially like in real estate, because you can have, 6 real estate companies that are massively different. Like if you look at, for example, there's a real estate company around us called Social House, and they're younger, and their culture is like, ping pong tables and drinks, and like it's like a fun, right? Whereas if you look at maybe a broker that's in Birmingham and it has older agents, and it's going to be more suits and ties, and how you approach those people, from your email to your language to everything about you, what you wear, how you show up, those are going to be 2 very different things, right? Like when people come in to interview at Elite Realty at our brokerage, I'm looking at what they're wearing. Like I interviewed a guy the other day, and he's like, I'm a vibe, and it's so funny because when people come in to interview with me, I get everybody from, the young hip guy that's a vibe to, somebody who shows up fully suited up and with their shiny shoes, right? So you really want to do that extra homework. Like you said, Luke, start at the websites. Kylie, go into the socials, check out the culture, and make sure your vibe fits their vibe, right? Make sure it's somewhere you want to be.
Yeah, I think that that's a really good point too, and especially Luke, if you Facebook stalk those people, you might find some connection points, like, oh, I play the guitar too, or oh, I'm this or that, or I'm in this club or that club, or you guys might find some similar interests that'll help you kind of bridge that gap and build that rapport for sure.
Oh yeah, like a lot of people, like they do have the skills, but they're not, looking for just that. Like on my resume, at the bottom, I have like just like interests and stuff, and people talk about that the most, I'd say.
I think that's interesting because most people, discrimination aside, most people want to be around people who are like them and have similar interests than them. That's why Trish and I get along. Our similar interests are, we're moms and we complain about our kids all the time. So that's a really good point. I love all of that. And I'm glad that you have a follow-up plan. I'm super excited to see, what comes to fruition from that guy out in California. And that would definitely, I think that'll be our first out-of-state contract. That would be awesome.
Yeah. How many
big
people
milestone.
do you think were at the convention, Luke?
I think like maybe 200 to 300. It was a little smaller this year.
That's a big
Last year was
event.
like 500, but it was still
Oh.
like a decent amount.
Okay. And they had it on campus. Was it open to the public or just open to students?
I think it was. I think they were general admission tickets. They were like a little bit more expensive.
Okay. All right. So if our listeners next year want to get in on the Michigan Real Estate Convention at the University of Michigan, they can, because it's open to the public. It's general admission. And you felt like it was both a networking tool, but also it's set up, it sounds like a job fair.
Yeah, and like if you want to go into commercial brokerage, they didn't have them this year, but I know last year they had like someone from CBRE. So like for the broker specifically, this would be a good place to go.
Awesome. Very cool. I'm so glad you were able to make it on behalf of Stars Academy. And thank you so much for coming on the show and just sharing that experience with us.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun talking about it.
Yeah. And I'm excited that our listeners get introduced to this fellow who's just been kind of the man behind the curtain. Him and I guess producer Dave also is the man behind the curtain. He's the man in the chair, actually, behind the microphone. All right, fam. Thanks so much for stopping by. We know you have a plethora of options when it comes to your entertainment and personal development pleasure. And we are so glad that you chose Elite Life Podcast. We drop new episodes every single Thursday, so come back next week for more. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast.
Bye.
We thank you so much for joining us today on the Elite Live with Trish and Kylie. Be sure to share the episode with a friend so we can continue bringing you more great tips on grit, grace, and real estate. You can also connect with us on Instagram, Facebook. We hope the ideas we share continue to help you build an empire and leave a legacy.